wonder what's next in the Heights. I find my coffee.
I think one of the main themes in the show is home and what that means. And we all come from somewhere. That's the American story. I grew up here, so what does it mean to be Puerto Rican if you don't live in Puerto Rico?
And that story is reflected in what you've put together, and yet you're finding commercial success in Spanglish.
In Spanglish, yeah. Well, one of the really funny things is we didn't worry about, hey, how can we find commercial success on Broadway? We just tried to write the best show possible.
If there is a stereotype in this country of Hispanics as a general rule of a neighborhood, it seems to me that what you were achieving here is saying, well, this is different than what all you non-Hispanics have written in the past.
There's no denial of the crime and drugs in our neighborhoods that exist in every other neighborhood in America, but we're writing from a perspective of love. So the focus isn't on that. And, it was very funny to read the English reviews and the Spanish reviews of In the Heights.
And the difference being?
The English review said, this is great, but it's a really unrealistic view of the neighborhood. And the Spanish reviews were, this is really great, and finally a realistic view of our neighborhoods. That was literally the across-the-board difference between Latino reviews and more mainstream reviews.
Learning the ropes in America.
People walk in not knowing if they're going to relate to it and walk away going, that was my uncle up there, that was my grandmother, she did this so that I could do this. And they just relate.
If the show has done anything for America's understanding of Hispanics, what is it?
I think the legacy of In the Heights is I think people see the show and they relate to something within it. Just like when I saw Fiddler on the Roof in 6th grade and it took place in this Jewish town in Anatevka, I started like this, going like, I'm not going to like this. And then he started singing If I Were a Rich Man, and he started singing about his daughters and about tradition, and I was weeping by the end of it.
My parents came with nothing, they got a little more, sure we're poor, but yo, at least we got the store.
I think people relate to it, and so they'll come through Washington Heights one day, maybe on their way downtown, and they'll say, these people are not that different from me, and I think that's great.
In the Heights, every day, paciencia y fe. Until the day we go from poverty to starting out the Heights.